Hey guys, it is Charles Almighty Wraith of Game Warriors Gaming for a Cause, and this is Unscripted. And today we have a tag team battle between Fear and Intimidation versus Respect and Compassion. So, before we get started with that, let's look at my background as far as roles and leadership and everything. So, as a child, I try to stay out of the spotlight, try to stay in the background as much as possible. Didn't take on roles of leadership and everything else. Um, but as an adult, I have held department manager positions, store manager, assistant store manager positions. I'm a father of three wonderful kids. I'm a husband. I have a beautiful granddaughter. So I've stepped into a leadership role, and not to mention Game Warriors. But so with those approaches and stuff like that, I mean, with those roles, you have to have a uh, a leadership, and you have to have a way of getting things done and doing it in the right way. Now, a lot of fear and intimidation can be motivators by all means. Um, and there are times when those are acceptable and the only option. And when you have someone that is coming at you or your family and you're trying to protect them or anything like that, that is the time for fear and intimidation. Um, because of that situation. But when you're dealing with someone on a daily basis, and if fear and intimidation are your only ways to motivate people, then you're going about it the wrong way. And essentially, you're nothing more than a bully. And that is not the way to do it. You may see short term results, but you're not going to get the long term investment in someone. And it doesn't matter the relationship. I mean, as a father, I've had to use fear and intimidation at a time. Uh, when one of my kids was doing something that could have potentially harmed them or someone around them, but it was followed up with compassion and uh, respect. I mean, we talked it out. We talked about the things, but if you just leave it at that fear or intimidation and you don't go any further, you're not going to build a healthy relationship, and you're going to give some a bad impression of how to motivate others, how to be a leader, how to be a father, how to be a mother, how to be whatever, if that's your only tool set. And like I said, there are times. My wife's ex. There was times where I had to use fear and intimidation to get him to behave right when he was doing stuff that was detrimental to my wife or my stepdaughter. And that's you know understandable. You're in protection mode, but as a father or a leader of some sort, you want to try to go with the respect and compassion. So, with that being said, so like I said, I've been in an assistant manager positions, department manager position, store manager slash leader, depending on which company. And the best way to do that is, hey guys, you know, here's what's going on. Why is this happening? And have compassion for it, because you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know why they're struggling in whatever area you're struggling in or they're struggling in. And you don't know if, you know, that moment of compassion can mean a lot. It may be the only type of compassion that they're going to get. They may have other people that are doing fear and intimidation to them, and they don't need more of that. They need more of the compassion. And the compassion is going to build respect. And when they respect you, you're going to get better results from them and long term results. Um, so, for example, I've had several people that in the past that I had to terminate, and the the situation, you know, was something that couldn't be helped. But we talked about it beforehand, and they explained what was going on. They understood my viewpoint as their boss, why I was having said conversation with them, and they knew the results of if they couldn't, you know, move forward. And they either respectfully resigned because they knew that they couldn't perform the way that I needed them to perform, and understood that I had a business to run and that they were being detrimental to that, and wanted to see me succeed because they respected me enough to do what was right. And now on that same note, even the ones that continued to try, and then we did it, unfortunately went to termination, I still have a respect for them. I still have, or they still have respect for me. We have, because I showed compassion, because I got to know what was their cause. And they will still call me to this day, or text me to this day, or message me, or stop me when they see me and seek maybe advice, or just have, they know that I'm going to be an ear that they can vent to, and that I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to give them some kind of advice to the best of my ability to help them. And that right there is a sign of a true great leader versus someone who uses fear and intimidation. Again, if all you have is fear and intimidation, you're a bully. You're not going to be successful. Yes, you may have the material things that you want, but you're not, in the long run, that's all you're going to have. You're not going to have someone there for you in your hard times. You're going to be alone. And you're not going to build healthy relationships with friends, family, loved ones, so on and so forth. It all trickles down to your attitude, your approach. Again, there are times where fear and intimidation are necessary. I get that. That's not your only tool set. And if it is, it's time to take a hard look in the mirror and do a heart check and find out why that is the only way that you know how to be. Maybe it's some trauma in your past. Maybe that's all you were shown. There is a better way. And I encourage you to strive to find a better way. You know, there are hundreds upon hundreds of self-help books. There are hundreds upon hundreds of motivational books. There are so many avenues with technology that we have, that we've got it all at our fingertips. YouTube videos, um, daily quotes, any type of that stuff, whatever can help you break that mold of just fear and intimidation and move into the compassion and respect. Um, whether it be the Bible, whether it be uh, respected motivational speaker, whatever it is for you to move past that. For me personally, it is the Word of God. It is my friends, my family, that despite my shortcomings, have the majority of the ones that I still contact and everything else. There is a respect and a compassion for. I respect them enough to reach out to them, to talk to them. There is compassion when I'm talking to them, that they're not judging me, but they're listening to me, and even if they don't have the answers, they're being that person that I needed meant to. Um, and I try to surround myself with those type of people versus the toxic people who are just fear and intimidation. And you know, you can't surround yourself with those type of people. Iron sharpens iron. You, if you sit there and you just stay complacent where you're at, you're never going to get better. You find someone who you respect, who is compassionate, and let them build those qualities in you, and you too will become more and more about respect and compassion. Whereas if you surround yourself with those that are rely on fear and intimidation, before long, that's all you're going to rely on. Where those bonds of fear and intimidation are going to become stronger. So the first step that I would recommend is surround yourself with people that you respect and that have compassion for others. So guys, you can always show compassion. So I have this one last scenario that I'm going to state of compassion and respect. Someone that hurt me so much that it traumatized me, I showed compassion to in their end days. I showed them a love that most wouldn't. Out of honor and respect for someone that was close to them, a mutual person, I did something that was against what I wanted. And on that, that showed great strength, great compassion, and earned me a lot more respect with some of those that knew the exact situation. So I'm going to leave you with a quote from Scott Adams. Remember, there's no such thing as a small act of kindness. Every act creates a ripple with no logical end. Guys, till next time, this is Charles Almighty Wraith saying stay awesome. Hey guys, this is Charles Almighty Wraith and
Wrestler 58.
We hope y'all enjoyed our video and everything. Be sure to check us out on all of our other social media networks, such as YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitch,
Twitter,
Instagram,
and Patreon.
And also be sure to like and share the videos. And all right, until next time, this is Almighty Wraith and
Wrestler 58
saying stay awesome.